Hello everybody, this is Pierozzi here, and I wanted to show you some cups. So I wanted to show you 10 different cups from my collection. But the first thing I wanted to do was show you this cup. This is probably what we think about when we're thinking about a cup. Very utilitarian piece, maybe it's got a little bit of a logo on it, and just something we're going to use day to day. But cups don't necessarily have to be that. It can have much more personal identity in the work where you really get to understand a little bit of the artist and where creativity really happens, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it, all right? So the first cup I would like to show you is this matte long soda fired piece. I think it's a really gorgeous piece. I love it so much. I mean, I just like the orange texture and then the white inside. But what really makes this cup amazing is sort of these very, very fluid lines where you really get to see the hand and the motion. The piece almost feels like it's moving, right? And what a gorgeous handle and a beautiful stamp on the bottom. And even the other side is really interesting, right? With a little bit of the sort of smoking of the glaze from the kiln. I just think it's just a really nice piece. A little bit of the drippings here as well. The second piece I'd like to sort of show you is this from my former professor. His name is Dell. I think he did a lot of these pieces in the 70s and 80s. And what's really interesting is you got this beautiful copper red glaze on the bottom. It almost looks like a landscape in some ways, the way it sort of moves and shifts. It's got this travel mug look to it with this gorgeous handle on the side. And if we flip the other side over, you can get to see it's also got just the way that red begins to pop for this piece. So I really love this piece. What's interesting, in the 1990s, you'll see how his style begins to change. And this is probably more of what he's known for now, is this style, okay? So let's take a look at that. This is where he uses the raw porcelain and shows that on the surface, and then does these inscribed lines where the piece really becomes very, very linear and about the lines. And then he puts a satin black glaze on the inside. But again, it's very characteristic of the last cup that we saw, all right? Just a little different in style. You still have that similar handle, and you've got a beautiful inside black glaze in there. Yeah, look at that. Look at that handle, right? I mean, I think that turns out really, really nice, right? Okay, the next cup I'd like to show you is, oh, I love this one a lot. This is a Julie Galloway piece. She does soda firings. And I think it's interesting, she's got this gorgeous cloud pattern, and then the soda just gets it to drip that beautiful blue. And what's also fascinating about this piece is, again, all the pieces I'm showing you are wheel thrown. To make her piece a little different, she went ahead and cut and darked this section, something I'll be talking to you guys a little bit later about. That way, she sort of tucks that form in a little bit. I think it looks really nice. And then if we flip this over to the other side, oh, isn't that beautiful too? Little bit of turquoise glaze with some kind of luster to just give it a little bit visual pop. And I love the way it sort of, the piece flips up. But again, just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece, I think. Let's see if we can get a better angle for you. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty nice. All right, the next cup I want to show you is Chris Gustin's. All right, I want to put that one down with two hands. That is wood-fired, I believe. I think they just does soda too in there, but not always 100% sure. At least I can't think of it at the moment. And this is fun. He just takes his finger, pinches this little mark, the glaze drips down in there. And it's just so luscious. I mean, look at the lusciousness of this thing, right? Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I love it. I love it. And again, the way he just sort of moves the top and even the inside has really got a lot going on. Now this one's going to be a little bit different than what I showed you. And this is a Ted Neal Cup, and it's wood fired, and it reminds me very much of industry, right? Maybe like a piston or something like that. He sort of probably ribs this, and then he's got a little cutout over here, and you can see, you know, depending, the wood probably does very different things to the surface. Here, I think it's just kind of a gorgeous thing. But what also is very interesting about this work is if we take a look at this, look at that shape there. It's sort of like a clove in many ways. And he sort of changes it and articulates it so that it becomes very, very personalized piece. Very different, very different. Here's another piece. Now this is by Tony Wright. This is another former professor. I think it's beautiful the way we've got this oval form here, and then we've got this little drip mark of glaze. And what's funny about it is his teacher was this man as well. And so this is Harris Deller again. And you can see in some ways a little bit of the similarities, at least in terms of form, different, but you could certainly see the influence a bit. I think they're both gorgeous works and they stand on their own. But Tony does really amazing work, beautifully thin, porcelain. Oh, it's just gorgeous. And the final cup I'd like to show you is Jeff Ostrike's piece, a soda-fired piece. He's a studio potter up in Minnesota. And it's faceted, and oh, it's just beautiful. The slip here with the little bit of glaze. I mean, look at the level of craftsmanship that we see there. I think it's just beautiful. So there is 10 cups from my collection. I'll show you guys another 10 at a different day. I hope you've enjoyed this and you really start thinking about what a cup is, because remember, that's where we started, right? So yeah, really gets you thinking about what a cup can be. Well, take care now and have a great day, okay?